Two daughters in one family were murdered on the same day, and the real killer is a 12-year-old girl. Today, let's decipher deadly drinks. The photos on the screen are of sisters in a family. The one on the left is the elder sister, her name is Xia, 13 years old. The one on the right is the younger sister, named Lin, 7 years old. The photo is a bit blurry, but it's the only photo left of the two of them. Because in June 2015, these two girls suddenly passed away. The cause of their deaths. It's still saddening. The case took place in Hanyang City, Hunan Province, China. The first to know about the sisters' death was their grandmother. At 6 p.m., the grandmother heard the news and rushed to the hospital in a panic. Lying on the hospital bed was Lin. At that time, the girl was foaming at the mouth and looked very scary. Grandma panicked and rushed to notify her parents. At that time, the girl's father was still working in the fields on the mountain. By the time he arrived at the town hospital, Lin's condition was already serious. The doctor said, judging from Lin's symptoms, she was probably poisoned. How could a child be poisoned? Did she eat something she shouldn't have? In addition, where is her sister Xia, who is usually close to her? The person who took Lin to the hospital said she was found at 17:30 that afternoon. She was lying under a loofah vine in front of a neighbor's house. The resident said. Lin ran down the road, crying and shouting, "Sister." 1111. Lin fell to the ground and fell unconscious, then was taken to the hospital by the villagers. Unbeknownst to the family, the girl's sister was found less than 500 meters away. The girl's sister, Xia, was found. Xia's shoes and school bag were scattered all over the place. She was bleeding horribly and seemed to be out of breath. When the police arrived, they decided that the girl, Xia, was dead. And her sister Lin, who was in the hospital, was getting worse. Her heartbeat and breathing were almost gone. After about 40 minutes of resuscitation, unfortunately, the girl Lin finally left this world. The time between her sister Xia's death was less than an hour. These two girls live in Gaoshan Village, Jiepai Town, Hanyang County, Hunan Province. They both go to elementary school in the town. They usually live with their mother in a rented house in town. Their mother is mildly retarded. The mother needs to collect scrap to make ends meet while taking care of her two daughters. Their father works as a farmer in the village to support the family. When the mother arrived at the hospital that day, both children had already passed away. 1111. You've died a horrible death. 1111. The sudden death of their two daughters was brutal for the couple. The two daughters were well behaved and had been the source of joy and all the hopes of the family. Her family was not well off and was considered poor in the village. Mom and dad were willing to suffer anything to raise their children, but now it seems that all their efforts are meaningless. So what did the sisters eat that day to get poisoned? The police made an important discovery. That is, the forensic pathologist found the ingredients of the highly toxic pesticide poisonous rat poison in their stomach solution. Rat poison is a highly toxic substance that is banned in the country. How could it be in the girls' bodies? Everyone thought it was strange that the girls were poisoned, because just 3 hours before the accident, their mother even went to the school to look for them when they were still in good condition. Her sister, Xia, was in 6th grade and finished school at 5 p.m. Her sister, Lin, was in 1st grade and got out of school at 2 p.m. That day when Mom went to pick up the kids, Xia said she wanted to wait for Lin. So Mom left school first. In the past, Xia and Lin and their friends would play outside for a while before going home. It seems that the sisters must have eaten something on their way home from school. The entrance to the elementary school is only a few hundred meters from where the sisters were found. The police investigated the road. They soon got an important clue to prove how she really is. 1111. The townspeople saw the sisters playing with a girl named Lily before the accident. Lily is 12 years old and was in the same class as Xia. The police found Lily and found out what happened. 2 days later, shocking news came out from the police. According to the girl Lily, the two girls were poisoned after drinking the drink she gave them, and that she intentionally put rat poison in the drink. This teacher was Lily and Xia's homeroom teacher. She was there when the police questioned Lily.
考官的时候他自己承认了。一刚开始我接受不了，我不相信，后来就所有的证据都指向他了。
Lily's confession surprised everyone. At such a young age, How could she think of poisoning her classmates with rat poison? And from her statement, she had prepared for it. She said, a month ago, she bought a packet of rat poison with rat poison ingredients and put it in her school bag. On June 10th, she bought a bottle of Coca-Cola from the school kiosk. She poured the rat poison into it. In the afternoon, after school, she was walking and played with Xia and Lin. Lily then asked Xia if she wanted to drink Coca-Cola. Xia said, yes. Xia drank the Coca-Cola Lily gave her. When Lin saw her sister drinking, she drank some herself. Then the two sisters were poisoned and collapsed one after the other. Lily went home alone. She didn't tell anyone about it. It was hard to accept this fact, but the evidence found by the police showed almost conclusively that it was Lily who did it. The police found an empty Coca-Cola bottle in a pile of grass next to the crime scene. Lily's fingerprints were found on the bottle. The grass here is very thick. It was only after Lily confessed to the police that the bottle was found. When the news of Lily's poisoning spread, the townspeople were amazed. How could a 12-year-old girl be so bold? There was a reason for the surprise. It wasn't just because Lily was so young. In everyone's mind, Lily and the dead sisters were very close. People often saw the three of them playing together on the way to and from school.
平时看他们三个人在玩的好好的，一直都是一起回家啦，一起走啦。
If they were such good friends, why did Lily do this? After the incident, Lily was taken into custody by the police. Reporters were unable to see her. Regarding the reason for her poisoning, there are not many details in the police report. It only mentioned that Lily had a grudge against her two sisters. So what kind of grudge is there between the three children? We found Lily's grandparents. Grandma said, Lily is a poor child. Her father works outside and comes home only once a year. Her mom left home 6 years ago and hasn't been back since. They're the only ones who take care of Lily and her two sisters. They said Lily and Xia and Lin were good friends and often played together. There were always little fights between the kids, but Lily's grandparents never took it seriously. Because Lily's parents weren't around, they didn't want their granddaughter to get into trouble. Whenever Xia and Lin's mother came to complain, Grandma and Grandpa would scold Lily. Lily is usually quiet, but every time she was scolded, hatred grew inside her. She felt that the adults scolded her because Xia and Lin were bad. In Lily's statement to the police, we read these words. My grandparents always scolded me more times than I can count. I hate Xia and Lin. And the incident that escalated Lily's hatred for her little sister. It happened in early May 2015. One day after school, Lily and Xia Lin passed by a house. They saw a toy car in the yard. So they kicked the door axle and broke into the yard to play. When the owner found them, Xia said it was Lily who kicked down the door. The owner then found Lily's grandparents. This made Lily feel that Xia and Lin had betrayed her again. In the investigation report, Lily said, I felt uncomfortable, so I wanted to buy rat poison for them. It wasn't just a thought. She soon put the idea into action. But suddenly one day the three of them got back together again. She kept the rat poison in her school bag. The rat poison followed her from home to school and from school to home. Lily's grandmother is in poor health and is often bedridden. Lily's grandfather is 83 years old and needs to do housework and work in the fields. The two old men were struggling to take care of their three children and did not notice the changes in Lily at this stage. The trigger for the tragedy was June 9th, the day before the incident. The three children were playing at school when another friction occurred. Lily said that Xia hit her, and because she couldn't beat her, she kicked Lin down. The sister's mother soon found out about the incident and arrived at the school and pinched Lily's ear severely. Lily told the police, their mom pinched my ear, it hurt me so much. At that moment, her resentment deepened. Before that, the sister's mother had pinched Lily more than once. Lily rarely told her grandparents about these incidents. In hindsight, the mother's actions provoked Lily. On the third day after Lily's ears were pinched, she put rat poison in Coca-Cola and handed it to the sisters. Lily confessed to police that she didn't know how powerful the rat poison was. She didn't want to poison the sisters, she just wanted to vent her anger. So how did she buy this highly toxic drug? After the incident, the police conducted an investigation. They found out that the person who sold the rat poison to Lily was at a private agricultural store in town. The owner of the store was then criminally detained on suspicion of illegal trading of dangerous goods. Lily has been under police care since the incident. No one but her family and teachers had access to her. Ms. Huang has been trying to get inside Lily's mind to unravel the deeper reasons for her poisoning. This photo was taken by Ms. Huang during a recent visit to Lily. From the photo, Lily, sitting in the office, doesn't seem to be in bad spirits. The police also bought her children's books and drinks. Ms. Huang said it was difficult for the police to communicate with Lily at first. When they asked her how old she was, she would answer in a low voice after 10 minutes. Ms. Huang said Lily was a bit autistic at school and didn't do well. Her best friends are Xia and Lin. She used to talk to them about things, but now she has no one to talk to. This characteristic of Lily. The police also have a deep impression of the case. In a previous interview with the media, the police said that Lily was very calm and a bit cunning. The reason why I say Lily is a little cunning, because in the earliest interrogation, she made a false confession. She first said that there are two strange men, who gave Xia and Lin 2 people a bottle of Coca-Cola drink. Then she said the sisters ate food from the garbage and were probably poisoned that way. Both statements misled the police in the early stages of the case. And in the teacher's opinion, Lily had a very vulnerable side inside her heart. If she's treated well, she'll become very dependent. But this dependence on adults was not reflected in Lily's dependence on her family. In the 3 months she's been away from home, she's never once said she wanted to go home. Lily said she didn't miss her grandparents. It's hard for the 2 old men. Because since Lily was born in 2003, her parents went out to work together. She was raised by her grandparents. She didn't drink milk powder, she was fed with rice and flour by her grandparents. Because the family was poor at the time, they couldn't afford to buy milk powder for her. But Lily doesn't seem to have much affection for her grandparents. This may have something to do with the beatings and scoldings she received from her grandparents. Grandma and Grandpa were very strict with Lily. It's become even more obvious since Lily got 2 younger sisters. The 2 old men said they were under too much pressure with 3 children. Lily did learn how to do laundry and cook at a very young age. She even helped take care of her 2 sisters. In the old people's opinion, their strict discipline was not wrong. What caused Lily's irritation was the fact that her mother ran away from home 6 years ago. This judgment of the grandparents was somewhat confirmed during the police questioning. Lily spoke very little, but when she mentioned her mom, she always reacted violently. Lily once said, "Don't mention my mom. I hate her." The police asked her if she missed her mom. Lily said, "My mom died 5 or 6 years ago." At Lily's house, her 2 sisters found many pictures of their mom. Lily was 6 years old when her mom left home, and her 2 younger sisters were even younger. Now the children can only rely on the photos to remember what their mom looked like. After Lily's poisoning, their mom, who hadn't been in touch with the family for 6 years, called back once, saying she was very sad. The criminal police later checked the number, but the number is no longer reachable. The reporter also called Lily's mom's phone, but there was no answer. Lily's father didn't come home after the accident, but only called a few times to check on her. We don't know why Lily's father didn't come back to see his daughter. But can he feel the despair of another father at this moment? It's been nearly 3 months since the incident. The father of the deceased has been in tears all day long. The former pillar of the family has been completely shattered. When the 2 sisters were alive, they spent most of their time with their mother. This is the room they rented in town. It's now empty and deserted. After their daughters' deaths, their mother couldn't take the shock and was sent to a mental hospital. We have no idea how this mother felt. How she must have suffered the sudden loss of her daughters. This is a picture of her when she was young, with a big smile on her face. Nowadays, there is not a single photo of the adults and children in the family. It's probably the only way for them to avoid being saddened by the loss. In fact, Lily's family had a great influence on her. Because Lily was already 12 years old. She was already entering puberty. So during her growing up process, her family's education and strict management, including the neglect of her delicate emotions, many aspects led to the distortion of her personality. In this family we see, Lily's mother left the family when she was 6 years old. Then her father went out to work. Her grandparents lacked normal emotional contact with her. And the dead sisters, too, lacked the care of someone with normal behavioral skills. No one was there to mediate between them when they were in conflict. Finally, I would like to say, today's case is particularly poignant. If only someone had counseled Lily at the beginning of her resentment toward the 2 girls. If someone had gone through Lily's bag after she bought the rat poison. If Lily had been able to talk to someone about the hatred that had risen up inside her several times, then maybe the tragedy wouldn't have happened. But now, all the assumptions are meaningless. The tragic loss of 2 children. The tragic loss of 2 children has changed the course of a girl's life forever, leaving us with too much to reflect on.